Okay, so good day everyone. Today is our week 3 sa ating maritime law. So for our lesson for today, it is the understanding the no more favorable treatment clause in real maritime practice. So for our learning objectives, we're going to explain how the no more favorable treatment or NMF clause applies when dealing with the ships from non-signatory flag states using a real-world scenarios relevant to your future onboard duties. So by using the real-world maritime scenarios that are relevant to their future duties on board, such as the compliance and checks, inspection, and or corresponding violations, just like what we delved into topic last meeting. So yung ating competencies to develop understanding of the port state control principle, their application of the NMF clause, yung sinasabi natin na no more favorable treatment, matatakal natin yan, and also the uh, under the conventions like the MLC, STCW, and MARPOL, ability to recognize that all ships, including those non-signatory states, kasi di ba, meron tayong pinag-usapan dati kung sino yung mga flag states na nagre-registered lang ng isang vessel. So, what about yung mga states na hindi naman nagkakaroon ng registration? So, we're going to talk about that and must meet the international standards when calling at port and preparedness for real life enforcement situations as officer or crew on board ship. Before we start, what is NMF clause? Ano nga ba yung NMF clause? So this clause means no ship from non-signatory country should be treated better than the some countries that follow maritime rules. It ensures fairness and safety in global shipping. The NMF clause is a rule found in many international maritime conventions like the MLC, Maritime Labor Convention, the STCW, and the MARPOL, which means that the ships from countries that have not signed a convention must still follow the same rules as those that have. So kung sino man yung mga countries na hindi signatory, the same way din yung gagawin nilang pag-follow ng rules sa mga signatory countries. So it simply implies that no ship should be treated better just because that country didn't sign the agreement. Whether the country signed or did not sign, the same pa rin sila ng rules na susundin. Kumbaga, kahit wala silang responsibilities, they are responsible to follow the rules. So bakit nga ba ito nagmamatters? First, we're going to ensure the fairness. Kasi all ships follow the same standards no matter where they are registered. Kahit sa US pa yan or other countries, dapat in all fairness, the standards are the same. And also preventing or prevent cheating because owners can't avoid safety or labor laws by choosing a platform a non-signatory country. Siyempre kung yung country na yon ay mas madaling makapag-release ng documents, pipiliin mo doon. Pero if the country have the same standards, ala kang pagpipilian. Doon ka pupunta kung saan mo convenient para sa'yo. Pero hindi siya magkakaiba ng standard. Iisa lang yung pina-follow nyo. Then next, meron tayong protects the seafarers. So even a crew or non-signatory ships get the same rights and protections of the crew. Then, supports enforcement. So port states can still inspect and detain non-compliant ships from non-signatory countries. Alam naman natin na si port state, siya yung pinakadulo. Diba? First, si flag state, then coastal, then si port state. So, one example ng ating realistic onboard scenario. So, just for example, you are a deck officer in port. A tanker vessel arrives flying the flag of a country that hasn't signed the MLC. Then, during operation or during inspection, you find a poor crew accommodation and expired food supplies. So, ngayon, ikaw si PSC, nasa port ka, then dumating yung vessel you're going to inspect, and that flag of country, hindi siya nakasign sa MLC. And ngayon, during your inspection, nakita mo na yung accommodation or yung tinutulugan ng crew, tsaka yung mga pagkain na kinakain nila, expired na. So, that's the good side of a port state control. No? Yung safety ng crew, kasi if that not being inspected by a port state, kumbaga, kung saan makakatipid yung isang company? Kawawa naman si crew member. No way out siya. Siyempre, nasa barko kayo. Hindi naman kayo pwedeng tubalo ng dagat para bumili. Kung ano yung pagkain sa barko, kung ano yung tinutulay nyo, kailangan nyo magtiis doon. So, thanks to the NMF clause, no, dahil doon, that the port state can first apply the MLC standards anyway. Then next, they can require the ship to fix the problem, or else otherwise hindi sila mabibigyan ng franchise. Then they can detain the ship fails to comply with the standards. So ganun kataas yung ganun kaganda yung import or ganun kahalaga yung isang port state control sa isang vessel. Kasi it inspect if the ship owners are complying with the safety and the standards of the MLC and other forms of the maritime conventions. Next, why it matters to you? Bakit siya mahalaga para sa inyo? So, just because as a future seafarers, you might work on a ship registered in a flag that hasn't ratified the conventions. Baka mamaya kayo mismo ma-experience nyo yan. And you have no choice just to dwell with the situation. But because of the port states will inspect based on the rules to protect you and to protect the vessel. And here's why it is important. First, you might sail under a non-signatory flag. So some of the ships are registered in countries that haven't ratified key conventions like MLC, STCW, or MARPOL. Kasi kung hindi ka sumusunod, magiging substandard yung vessel na sinasakyan mo eh. Ngayon, ikaw din, substandard din yung kaalaman mo pagdating doon sa rights mo tsaka rights ng isang barko. So without the NMF, no, NMF clause, you could lose important protections with your life. Like yung fair wages, yung salary nyo, yung safe working conditions mo sa barko, pati yung rest hours mo, maapektuhan. That is the importance of having a inspection on board. Then next, port state enforce the rules anyway. So, again, thank you sa ating NMF, no? Kasi port state can still inspect your ship based on the international standards. And even if your flag state didn't sign the convention, this help protects. Bakit? Ayun nga, sinasabi natin na yung kalusugan mo, yung safety mo, tsaka yung karapatan mo. Para sa iyon. Pagdating naman sa vessel, pwede siyang ma-detain or pwede siyang maban. Pagdating naman sa marine environment, yung pollution at unsafe practices. Kaya makakatulong talaga yung NMF clause pagdating sa sa'yo, sa vessel, tsaka sa marine environment. Then next, it promotes also the global fairness. Why? The NMF clause prevents ship owners from flag hopping. Yung tinatawag nating flag hopping. Yung punta ka ng punta sa iba't ibang registered flag countries para lang iwasan mo yung mga matataas na qualifications para magkaroon ka ng paper. No? To avoid these following rules, this means you won't be able to have a disadvantage. Just because of your flag, just because of the flag, your ship flies. And the bottom line of this is, whether your ship flag is a signatory or not, you're still protected, inspected, and expected to follow international standards. Because the NMF clause ensures you treated fairly and keep safe whenever you are on sailing. So that is the importance of the NMF and why it matters to you. For the real life example of the MLC, real life example, pagdating naman natin sa MLC, you're on a vessel from a non-MLC country, your salary is delayed. Mararanasan nyo yan. Hindi lahat ng company is on time mag-send ng salary. So, also, yung food on board is poor. No, meron lang kayong isang ulam sa isang araw, no? Kunyari mo bibigyan pa yung pagkain for the whole day na yon, iisa. Or minsan nga wala pa. No, when ship docks on port state control, can still demand the ship meets the MLC standards. Pwede siyang inspect ni sir, wala namang luto. Paano makikita ni The MLC can check the storage room, no, yung provision store ng isang vessel para tingnan kung yung food ba is enough for the whole voyage, kung ilan yung lifespan ng pagkain yun na kayang i-retain para sa crew members. With that, the NMF at work. Then, sabi nga natin, yung kanina, di ba, sabi natin, ma-expect nyo na yung working on board in a registered country that has not ratified the MLC convention, but the salary is delayed, yung food nyo sa barko ay poor, and also you don't have access to medical supplies. Ano yung mangyayari sa barko once na ma-arrive siya ng ship kapag gano'n yung condition niya? The ship enters in a port country that has ratified the MLC. Just for example, Singapore, Australia, and Philippines. So, again, thank you sa ating NMF, no more favorable treatment clause, that the port state control officers can inspect the ship compliance, demand improvements of the food and accommodation. Also, the wages and medical care. So, ang mangyayari doon, i-detain nila yung ship until the seafarers are paid with the said amount and conditions meet the MLC standards. Yung condition ng vessel. So, even if your flag state ignores your rights, the port state, hindi. Dahil the NMF clause protects you no matter what flag your ship are, and also your basic rights like yung timely payment, yung decenteng pagkain, at yung safe working environment nyo sa barko. For the case scenario unsafe conditions, imagine working on a ship with a broken lifeboat for ventilation. Alam naman natin na that the purpose of this lifeboat is to save lives in case of there's a distress situation. So imagine, no, if you're having a broken lifeboat na dapat makakapagligtas sa inyo at ay yung magiging last resort nyo, hindi nyo pa papagkatiwalaan, and having a poor ventilation or expired fire extinguisher gear, even if your flag hasn't signed the SOLAS, that the port state will hold your ship to those standards. So again, ano yung gagawin ng isang what will happen when your vessel arrives in a foreign port? So ano yung gagawin nila? So you're going to inspect the ship for safety violations, detain the ship until the lifeboat and firefighting gear are fixed, and also they're going to refuse departure now if your ship endangers crew and port safety. Kasi syempre, alangan din sila na i-release yung vessel kasi nandun din yung danger sa side nila, and protect you and your fellow crew from being forced to work in a unsafe conditions. And again, bakit nga ba siya nagmamatter sa inyo? Kasi you may sail under a flag of convenience that skip safety rules. And you're still protected by the international standards when you are docked, and you're held accountable too. As a future officer, you need to know that what's compliant and what is not. And most importantly, your life and safety are prioritized because of the NMF clause. No? Tandaan nyo lagi yan. That is the purpose of the NMF clause. So why some flags don't sign convention? Bakit nga ba ibang flags lang. Pag sinabing flags, bakit ibang country lang yung nagsasign ng convention? Bakit hindi lahat nire-require? Some countries want to attract ship owners by offering lower taxes, cheap registration, and weak enforcement, known as flags of convenience. Okay guys, so FOC, sila yung mga flags. Pag natin flags country, sila yung mga flags na hindi nakasign pagdating dun sa ating convention sa flag state. Tendency, sila yung mga nagbibigay or nag-o-offer ng lower taxes, cheap registration, and weak enforcement. Para kumbaga, low quality. No? Kasi syempre, hindi nila ma-meet yung standard, so dito tayo sa substandards. Mangyayari, nasa substandard vessel ka, pero hindi naman siya qualified kasi wala siya sa standard ng rules, no? To sail and to follow the safety standards na ini-imply ng NMF. So, to prevent this, skipping from safety rules, charges mas mababa, mas mabilis yung registration, para bang fixer yung dating. Does not strictly enforce international laws and have a mababang labor, safety, and environmental standards. Ngayon, si ship owner, syempre, pipiliin nila yung FOC. Bakit? Makakasave sila ng pera. They can also avoid strict rules and they can hire cheaper labor with the fewer protections. Ano yung resulta nito? Unsafe ship. Ano ba yung resulta? Poor working condition and environmental damage. Again, with the no NMF, it protects the industry. It protects from the ships using FOC cannot escape with the rules, or port state will still inspect the enforce international standards. This ensures fairness and crew protection for the maritime safety. Again, as a future seafarers like you guys, you might one day work on a FOC ship. Mararanasan nyo yan. Pero, again, no, lagi nyo tatandaan na meron tayong NMF, no? No more favorable. Na ipoprotekta yung rights, safety, and dignity ng isang vessel and you as a crew member. Whenever you are going to enter in a port, you are responsible on that country. Ano ba yung rights mo under the NMF? So, even your the ship's flag doesn't support labor or safety laws. So, sir, ano nga ba? Bakit nakakasampa pa rin kami? Ano ba yung dapat ba namin isumbong, yung mga ganong part, no? The port state where your ship docks must ensure your working and living condition meet the international standards. Kasi kayo na mga magiging seafarer, no? As a future seafarers, you may find yourself working in a ship registered in a country that doesn't support strong labor or safety rules. Hindi nyo ma-enforce sa lahat yan na magkakaroon ng standards. But ito yung good news, no? When your ship docks in a country that has signed the international conventions like the MLC or the SOLAS, the port state must still protect your rights. So no matter what flag your ship flies, no? Kung ano man yung dinadala ng iyong vessel. So what does it mean for you? It means that even if your flag doesn't enforce the rules, you still entitled to, tandaan nyo, entitled ka na magkaroon ng safe working conditions. Like working fire alarms, hindi yung sira, walang battery, or hindi na preventive maintenance, and wala kayong safety drills, no? You're still entitled to have a safe working conditions, fair pay, and on-time salaries. Entitled kayo dyan. Bayaran kayo ng tama at on time yung ma-receive nyo yung allotment nyo or ng pamilya nyo. Also, proper rest hours and contracts. hindi yung sobra yung kontrata nyo, sobra sa isang taon, sobra sa buwan, no? Kung ano yung nakalagay sa kontrata, ayun lang yung itatagal nyo sa barko. And yung proper rest hours, hindi yung more than 12 hours kayo nagwo-work or ilang oras lang yung tulog nyo. It is still under the standards na dapat nilang tingnan. And also, you have a good food and clean accommodation and medical care. So, it protects you from unfair treatment and abuse. Again, the NMF clause matters closest to the loopholes. Yung loopholes na tinatawag natin dyan, yung mga butas na hindi nako-comply ng mga isang ship owners, no? Sad to say, yun talagang iniiwasan nila yung mga butas na yun para lang makapasa. Imbis na dapat ginagawa nila yung mga butas na yun or kino-comply nila. So it gives you a backup protection when flag state fails to act. And it holds ships equally accountable when you enter the possible port. So ano nga ba yung bottom line dito? Your safety and dignity and rights don't depend on the ship's flag. So again, NMF clause international follows you into port and stands with you. Tandaan nyo yan. No? Kapag napapansin nyo na ito yung sinabi ni Sir Ares, no? Check ko nga ulit yung NMF, ano ba yung clause doon, ano ba yung kailangan kong tawagan once I feel that this vessel is not complying with the rules. The next, NMF clause in MARPOL naman tayo. So, if your ship pollutes and your flag state hasn't signed the MARPOL, that the port state can still fine and detain your vessel. So, future seafarers, this teaches you to follow best practices and always not just what's legal. Just for example, bigyan ko kayo ng scenario, no? You are working on board ship flying with the flag of a country that doesn't sign the MARPOL. So, the international convention that prevents marine pollution from ships, one day nagkaroon ng poor waste handling practices. No, nagkaroon ng mishandling pagdating sa waste. No, the ship discharged oily water into the sea, suddenly nagkaroon kayo ng oil spill, that the ship enters in a country that has ratified the MARPOL. Pumasok kayo, for example, Singapore, no? Then ano yung mangyayari? Ang mangyayari is that the port can inspect, fine, or detain your vessel, even though the ship's flag state hasn't signed the MARPOL. No? Kahit yung barko nyo, hindi sinign yung MARPOL, kailangan pa rin mag-detain or ma-fine ng vessel nyo. Bakit? Because all ships that port must meet the same pollution control standard regardless of the flag. Kasi pumasok kayo sa isang flag of country na signed So dapat kayo, yung unang week na sinabi ko sa inyo, dapat marunong kayo mag-follow dun sa flag state, sa flags na yon. Dapat alam niyo sumunod sa rules. So bakit ba siya dapat nagmamatter as a future officer? You will be responsible for making sure that your ship pollution prevention system are working properly. And also, you must follow best practices, not just the minimum legal requirements for your flag state. Ito lang yung dito lang tayo sa bare minimum. Hindi pwede. Dapat you are working on the side na more than the bare minimum requirements. So if you cut corners like your ship, your crew can be held accountable, especially when calling at the foreign ports. So, key lesson natin dito, being compliant is just about the law. Hindi lang yung dating sa, hindi lang nagko-comply tayo just because of the law. But it's about professionalism. Tandaan nyo, pinag-aralan nyo yan officer kayo You must apply that you are professional. You are on a safety and environmental responsibility. So you as a future seafarers, you are expected to lead by example and understand the international conventions and follow ethical standards, not just a legal loopholes. No? Tatandaan nyo yan. And the NMF and training certificate of the STCW, as cadets, your certificate must meet the STCW standards. Even if your flag doesn't follow the STCW properly, ports will check your competence as per international rules. Ito yung sinasabi ko na dapat na sa certified natin sa Marina yung mga certificate natin. Kasi once it is certified, it is under that the trainings that you attended to is certified by the STCW. So you as a cadet or future seafarer, your training and certification fall under the STCW convention, which is the international standard for watchkeeping, navigational safety, or for the engines, engine room operations, breed and engine resource management or the BRM, and also the emergency response and more. Marami yan. So what if your flag doesn't have fully follow the STCW? Hindi niya sinusunod yung buong STCW requirements. So some flag state may have a weak training systems or issues with regards to certificates without proper assessment. But when your ship enters a port that have or that enforces the STCW strictly like the, for example, Australia, Japan, and other European countries, the NMF clause applies. Yung sinasabi natin na i-inspectin yung vessel nyo. So that port state can question or inspect your competence regardless of your flag state standards. So, i-check nila, no? Hindi lang naman on your side lagi nakapanig yung isang NMF. I-check din nila kung ikaw ay capable ba sa hawak-hawak mo na certificate. Kung alam mo ba yung certificate na yon. Just for example, yung mga basic training. Aware ka ba sa mga life-saving equipment na dapat mong gamitin once there's a distress on board or there's an urgency or safety on board? Yung mga ganon, no? I-check nila sa'yo. Kung ikaw ba ay nag-comply lang dahil sa papel or nag-undergo ka talaga ng training. Kasi, again, realistic scenario, if you're a cadet on ship from a flag state known for a poor compliance, just arrive in a strict port state control port, no, kapag naka-experience kayo na yung vessel nyo ay nandun kayo sa isang strictong port or stricto yung PSC, yung port state control, yung port state control ask question or review your task, yung trabaho mo sa barko. Or they cannot, if you cannot demonstrate your competence, your ship may be detained. Kailangan mapatunayan mo na alam mo. And also, even though your certificate is valid, sabi ko nga, your skills and knowledge, ayun yung magmamatter. Kahit na makita nila na valid yung certificate mo, pero hindi nila nakikita na you are capable to prove that the competence is right, wala pa rin yan. So, why this matters to you? Your certificate alone is not enough. Kailangan ma-prove mo yung competence mo. This STCW is not optional. It is enforced internationally. And you present your school or country and yourself. And make sure your skills are solid. And as a future seafarer, you are responsible for verifying the competence of others. So, stay sharp, competent, and the world is watching you as a seafarer or as a future maritime officer. You must be professional and you are expected to meet the highest level of readiness and the standard. So that is for our first half. We're going to continue on the second half. You may take a break or health break, no? Or take your snacks. Continue tayo after 15 minutes.